Everybody, we are back. So this is essentially part 3 for different ways to think about making your plates now that we don't have access to the wheels on campus and or the molds on campus. So let's take a look at another way to make a plate. So like I said, I did map this one out and just kind of did some marks. So I have an idea, a little bit more of an idea of what I'm getting. My scissors, make sure this is nice and lined up. Do my cuts. If you wanted this to be a little bit more perfect, you could cut out one section and then trace what you cut out on every area to make it a little more even. I'm not looking for perfection here, so we're just kind of planned it out a little bit and then we're winging it. You can open it up, see if you like what happened. It looks pretty good. I do need to clean this up a little bit here on that cut. Have our template cut, and you want to grab some slab. Place your template on here like we talked about previously. If you love the template you created, go ahead and transfer the design onto tar paper or onto a file folder or some material of greater strength and resilience, because computer paper and graph paper won't hold up too long after absorbing the moisture from the clay. So trace your design. Proceed to cut out your design. If you don't have an X-Acto, you could use a paring knife or some thinner knife from your kitchen. Once your design is cut out, just wet your finger and apply pressure, smoothing out your outside edge. If you cut in a little too far, do go in and compress and push some clay into those creases. Flip your piece and do the same on the opposite. Okay, so once your form is all cleaned up, we are going to add a coil to it. So it's best to have had your coil rolled out already. If you need a little assistance with rolling a coil, you can watch the video I posted to Canvas titled Rolling a Coil While Rocking a Side Pony. So I am going to have about an inch clearance from my rim to where my foot is. Looks pretty good. I'm gonna overlap this and I'm gonna cut this at a slight angle, being mindful not to cut into my plate. So now this will come together at about a 45-degree angle. Just gonna take my needle tool and trace the outside and the inside. If you don't have a banding wheel, just put your piece of clay on a piece of paper or something so you can rotate it a little bit easier. Remove that. To score, if you don't have a scoring tool at home, I do suggest just taking some toothpicks and securing them together with a rubber band. This is just a rubber band from some green onions at the store. So toothpicks, rubber band, score where your foot is gonna go. Okay, after you've scored, go ahead and add a little bit of water vinegar or slip, if you have it, to your scored lines. Make sure you score the ends of your coil where your seam will be. And then add some slip, slurry, water, vinegar, etc. to that area. Make sure you're lined up. Apply quite a bit of pressure at your seam. I'm going to blend a little clay to the inside of that seam, and to the outside, and then address the top of it. Make sure you secure it down. So just applying pressure all the way around the side, or you can tap it. Okay, once you have made sure that your coil is nice and attached and you've blended that seam, take a tool or your finger and start to press a little clay down on the inside. You could leave this texture mark if you enjoy it, or you could smooth it in. Okay, so then come to the outside and do the same thing. Okay, once you have pressed a little clay to the outside of the coil and to the inside of the coil, you want to flip your form over. I'm going to keep it on paper so it doesn't get stuck to the banding wheel. And I'm just going to start to apply some pressure into the center of this. And now I'm going to take my thumbs to the inside of this coil that I put on the outside, and then my fingers are going to rest on the underside of the rim, and I'm just going to start to push down with my thumbs and lift up with my fingers. To do that, the clay in the middle is going to start to fall down within that coil, so creating the serving area and slightly raising the rim. Be mindful that you don't push it down too far, that it touches the table, because we do like to be able to glaze in this area when we go to glaze and fire this piece. So there you can see it. We have attached a foot. It's a big enough foot that it's allowed us to be able to press this clay down. And there it is. Da-na-na. Okay, I'll see you guys soon. Bye.